Hello guys! So it is the beginning of September. Asian Horror Month is over. Now we are starting a new segment. None of you got it right, but this is one that I created on my own. Something that I really wanted to do because it's one of my favorite genres of horror, and that is haunted house horror. So why not start with one of the most famous classic haunted house horrors, and that is the original House on Haunted Hill. This was made in 1959. It is very classic, black and white, starring Vincent Price, who was known for his horror movies back in the day. This movie is what I would call classically bad. It was very much a B, campy, not campy on purpose, but not like Evil Dead, you know, very funny type of B horror. Definitely a classic B horror film. I loved this movie. Mainly, if this movie was done today, it would be horrible. That's an obvious statement because back in the day, the scaring and things like that weren't as complex as they are today. But I mean, this movie was great. I love the storyline. I love the way it progressed throughout the film. So let me tell you a little bit about the plot. Vincent Price's character basically is the millionaire, and his wife wants to throw a party at this haunted mansion type building house thing, the House on Haunted Hill, and it's known to be haunted, and people have died there from these ghosts that are haunting the place. And she thinks it would be a fun place to throw a party, and he decides to turn it into an experiment. And he is going to pay $10,000 to whoever can survive the night until 8 a.m. in the morning. I think there were 5 people that came to the party that he invited that were in need of the money, and they tried to last until 8 a.m. in the morning. Now the suspense and the scares were not on the same level as the remake. So I'm not sure what year the remake came out in, but the remake is one of my favorite horror movies. I really, really like it. But as I noticed, the ending of the original House on Haunted Hill had a very strange ending, kind of up in the air. You don't really know what happened. So I could see where the remake director was like, we gotta put something in there. I hate the ending of the remake of House on Haunted Hill. It's like some weird creature thing. Not a fan of it, but I could tell that they were kind of like, well, we gotta throw something in there, so let's just fill it with this guy, and you know, that'll be the ending, and 2 people end up sitting on the side of the building, and it's just strange. So I could tell that they had to finish it off because the original wasn't really completed. What I love about this movie is that anyone can watch it and not be terrified of it. Like, if you're not, I know some of my viewers are non-horror fans, and I think that's so amusing that you just like to listen to me talk about horror movies and you don't actually watch them yourselves. Well, this is one that I can recommend to you guys because I honestly, this movie is not scary. It's funny. I actually laughed out loud so many times because it was so bad that it was hilarious, but I loved that aspect of it. It knew it was corny and it just went full force with the corniness. The acting is also classically bad, but I loved the dialogue for some reason. The dialogue keeps you really enticed to watch it. I don't know, I didn't get bored at all, and part of it was the dialogue. I love 1950s kind of movies, black and white dialogue. I think it's so, I don't know, it's so well written compared to today's writing of scripts and things, but it was so poorly acted at times, like over the top, screaming. The woman's screaming was like so bad. But it was really entertaining, and I really liked this movie. It's definitely something I would watch again and again and again because it's so entertaining and it's so fun and funny. It's definitely one of those you can get all your friends together to just kind of make fun of, not in like a negative way, like, oh, it's such a shitty movie, but you know, in a comical, like, that was really cheesy kind of thing. So I like it for that aspect. It's definitely one that I would want to show people because it's so entertaining. There is a bit of a spoiler at the end, which I'm going to talk about right now. The storyline actually changes towards the end, so I'm going to go into that now. If you've seen the remake, you know what it is. It's not anything ginormously huge. I thought it was actually had a bigger impact in the original than the remake. In the original, even though I knew that twist, it still kind of took me off guard, and I liked that. It was unexpected, even though I'd seen the remake a million times and already know it. So basically one of the guests is a psychiatrist, doctor something. Sorry, I don't remember any of the characters' names. They're kind of weird and didn't stick with me. But so the doctor ends up working with the wife of the millionaire, and they're actually in love, they're like a couple, and their plan is to kill the husband, and it kind of backfires. So in the end, there's like this vat of acid, I don't know what it is, it basically eats away anything that's made with flesh, and to the bone, but it doesn't dissolve bone, so I don't know if it's really acid. So you see kind of the vat in the basement, and the rich guy is shot. However, the gun that shot him, well, I mean the person, whatever, holding the gun, that shot him had blanks in their gun, and so he didn't actually die. But she went off screaming and running, and then you see the doctor come into frame, and he starts to drag Vincent Price over to the vat of, I'm just going to call it acid because I don't know what else to call it, the vat of acid, and then the lights go down, like turn off, and so you can't see anything, but you hear kind of a struggle, and then I think you hear like someone fall into the acid. Then you see the wife come in. So she comes down into the basement, and she's kind of looking around, doors are closing, and first of all, I'm like, how many freaking doors are there in a basement? There was like 5 doors everywhere. They all just like closed. Like, how many doors do you need in a basement? Where do they go? So she's kind of freaked out looking around, because up until that point she was kind of controlling all the scares that were happening because she was in on this plan to kill her husband. So then she sees a skeleton rise from the vat of acid, and that was really cheesy. It was literally like a high school skeleton toy looking thing made from plastic, but it wasn't really meant to be real anyway. It was supposed to be a fake skeleton. I'll tell you why. So then she hears her husband's voice talking, and he's saying all these things, and like he knows what they were up to, and that's when it kind of reveals what the doctor and her were up to. And so then basically he backs her up into the vat and she falls in. And then you see Vincent Price come out from the shadows, and he's actually puppeting the skeleton, so it is a fake skeleton, and he's controlling it, and so he tricked them into both being dumped into the vat of acid. He reveals to the rest of them that his wife had a plan to kill him, and the doctor was in on it and helping her, and they were like a thing. So then it kind of ends. That's where it ends. And so it's like, does he pay them or what? I don't know. So I'm just really confused with the ending. If they get out, do they die? Do they just leave? Do they get paid? I had a lot of questions after it. If you know any of it, let me know in the comments what you interpreted the ending. If you think they got paid, I don't know. So that's basically it for this movie. I have a bunch of fun haunted house horror planned. Let me know if you still want I Saw the Devil review, because that is the other one that I really wanted to get done before the end of August, and I couldn't do it because school is, you know, picking up. So I wasn't able to do that. Let me know if you still want me to do that this month. It'll kind of interrupt the new segment, but I can still do I Saw the Devil if you want me to. Let me know what you think of my new segment if you are looking forward to this one. I am also, a little announcement, I'm going to be having my first Halloween tutorial going up on my other channel, my fashion channel. So make sure to check that out. I'll probably leave a little video on here, not in this video, but like I'll post a video on this channel of some footage of that tutorial, and then you can go watch it from my channel if you want to see it. I think it's pretty fun. Halloween tutorials are starting and I'm so excited. So make sure to watch them on my other channel. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.